Sindy, you brought up in the beginning a little bit about, you know, is this even worth the money? Can I pay for this? Like that, like we get these ideas before we have a price in our head, and then we kind of create like a bar of like, I don't think I need blank. So if blank costs this much, then I'm not doing it. You know, coaching, therapy, massage, anything. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about how much you were willing to pay before you got coaching? How did you feel about the price when I named it to you? And then how would you talk about the value of it now that like you're paying the money, paid the money wherever you are in your payment process? Like, how do you feel about the value compared to before and now?
I know for me, prior to getting coaching, I didn't think coaching was expensive because to me it was shallow. Because this is not a deep thing, you know. But then after we had our first session, and I knew that I was trying to launch a business, but I knew I had to get uncomfortable and get out of my comfort zone to access me that could launch the business. And so when we had our first session, you were asking me questions and you were having me think about things already in a different way that I was like, no, I need that. I can't just stop because I need more. And so when you told me the price and everything, of course to me it was expensive because prior to I was thinking it was cheap, but I wasn't deterred. It wasn't like oh no, you know, it was like cool. Can I do a payment plan? Can I do an install? You know, what can I do to work this out? Because I knew I immediately saw the value. Even though I didn't know what the future held as far as your coaching entailed, but I knew that like you were going to challenge me to think outside the box in a way that I had not experienced before. So now that I'm at the end of it and I'm having gone through all the coaching and everything, it's like that's valuable. This is valuable work that you really can't put a price on because the way you're literally reprogramming your brain. And you need help doing that because you think the certain way and you need someone else to come in and help you think a different way. You can do it on your own to an extent, but you need someone else that has criteria and education to help you go all the way. And I feel like that should be compensated. That should be compensated well because this is really crucial, life-changing work that we were doing. I won't be the same person. And I feel like that shouldn't be a cheap price, you know? So I felt like at the beginning, I felt like it was a great price, and now I feel it even more because now I see just how lucrative that work was and how it's going to pay off for years to come. This was not just a quick fix. This was really fundamental, life-changing work that deserves to be compensated well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say I agree with everything that you said. I feel like it kind of feels like, and I kind of understand now why like some people have coaches for like years because it's kind of like what you said, you are trying to change how you've been functioning for however many X years until you find Chanel. It's like, I mean, for me, okay, I guess in terms of the pricing for me, I think at first I was like, dang, like, okay. But after we had our first call, I was like, dang, like, this is exactly what, like, I feel like I do need this. Like, it was just like the way that you approached what we even talked about. I think it was my idea of fear, and that's like a recurring theme that I think about. And I think you can try to do some of this work on your own, but there gets to a certain level where like you're unless you're like really spending all of your time like looking up different philosophies or like getting some kind of different views of how you're thinking, it's kind of really hard to do it on your own because I was trying to do it on my own and like with a therapist, but I was still running into the same issues. So I feel like the value is like who you are now versus who you want to be. So what I mean, this is kind of like from my economics class, and it's kind of like, what is it costing you to stay where you are? And so that's kind of what you need to think about. It's like, it's going to be worth where you're trying to be. And whether that's like for the rest of your life or until you get it together, and like it might take you a while to get it together, and that's okay. So I don't know. That's just my take for that.
That's both fantastic, honest answers. Thank you so much for that. That is so great to hear. The metaphor that I thought of as you two were talking was like around maybe like exercise, right? Like you can say I never want to exercise in my life have a happy life. You can say, I want to exercise, and you're going to try different methods. So it's like you don't necessarily, you know, you might have a trainer for a little bit, then you might go back to exercising on your own. But I don't, and some people say, I never need a trainer. I can look this up online. But it's like some people have a trainer and see the results sooner because they have a trainer, and because like there's a psychological effect to saying, this is what I'm paying for, this is what I'm getting, I'm going to put something into it. Like, you know what I mean? Like my trainer's going to stand there and make sure I get those knees up, or make sure I, you know, they're not going to let me get off the machine early. And so again, it's like, what does it cost to you? Like anything can be done on your own, but can it be done well? Can it be done in the time frame you wanted to? Can it be done before you miss another opportunity? And I also think that there's something that comes out of it that's not just about money, right? It's like the intangible of like, being, you know, I impact my clients, they impact me. So I always learn something, and this is getting out of money and just value, but I always learn something. Like I'll find that what'll resonate for me when I'm coaching is like, oh shoot, I'm struggling with that too, you know, or like, oh, I'm learning about that too. And I feel like it's almost a synchronicity of, I'll always feel like I can share something I've learned for myself with my client, not just like this kind of objective way of being like, you know, I have truly been there, and it, you know, I can't get into all the details of my own personal life in the call, but I really hope that people trust me when I say like, I get it, girl. You're going through this thing with this person, or you know, this job is treating you like that. I've been there. And so, in terms of why I know I'm bringing value is not just my education and training, which we've mentioned, but it's because of the life experience that I've been fortunate to have to be able to turn around and say, why did I go through that shit? And whenever I see it happen for another person, it really, it becomes clear.